Give you a rundown of a couple finals that we have made official. The men's collegiate JV 4, Drexel was the winner, Bowdoin was second, Colgate third, Pittsburgh fourth, Brock fifth, and MIT sixth. In the women's third varsity heavyweight 8, Bucknell the winner with the gold medal, St. Joe's second with the silver, and Drexel third with the bronze. In the men's third varsity 8, we had Drexel the winner, Delaware second, St. Joe's third, fourth went to Michigan, fifth Virginia, and Temple rounded out the field in sixth. So here we sit with the next event, 144. 159 events in this regatta, the 80th running of the Jefferson-Vail Regatta. This is the men's JV heavyweight 8, the Ernie Bear Trophy. St. Joe's is in lane 1, Drexel lane 2, Delaware lane 2, MIT lane 3, Drexel is in 4, Temple 5, and Virginia is in 6. Boats are aligned. Beautiful shot of the starting line. Notice the just glassy water. Very, very good conditions. We have no breeze whatsoever. Just a little bit of bumps on the water from previous races going by. Little disturbance, but it is just so calm. Cox is doing a great job of holding their crews pointed right down the course. This is a great point. Again, stake boat people on an anchored platform holding onto the stern of each of these crews. You'll see the coxswains all sitting in the back or the stern or to the most right side of the boat. The coxswain without the oar, locked in, trying to stay stable, and their hands go up if saying they're not ready and making some adjustments. The referees are paying attention very carefully to make sure that they do not start the race until all the crews are poised and ready.
Lane 5, Temple University, and in lane 6.
Well, this is going to be an exciting race. Just looking down at all the teams that are in it. This is about as close to the varsity final as you're going to get, the JV heavyweight final. The crews are now starting to get in their position. A little more time in between the finals on Saturday afternoon, just because there's an award ceremony. It takes a little more time. But the crews are lined up perfect. You can look across. This is going to be a heck of a close race. If you look at how the crews were seated going into it, just with the lane draw, you would expect lanes 3 and 4 and 5 are usually your or 2. Delaware, MIT, Drexel, and Temple, your higher seats crew. But the race is off. The race is off. A lot of movement in the boats.
I had MIT at 43 starting sequence. So how we look down the monitor now, we got St. Joe's in the top right corner. White uniforms that showing up nicely there. Delaware blue in lane 2. Then you go to MIT, which is red in lane 3. Drexel again in blue. Then you got Temple, white uniforms, but the crimson oar with the T on that blade. And then Virginia with orange oars on the far left-hand side. So as they come out, now we're at 250 meters out. Nice clean start.
Well, right now it looks like that 5 crews are fairly level. You have St. Joe's, Delaware, MIT, Drexel, and Temple.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that Virginia won't be coming back. They'll have a little advantage on the turn, but that is the position they are in now. I don't see one of the men's junior varsity heavyweight 8 crews getting an advantage over the other. It's good to see St. Joe's in lane 1 is holding that
40.
lead they're supposed to have going into the bridge. MIT is in a solid position in lane 3. And Drexel in lane 4. Drexel's been having some strong performances. It wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them do well. So the crews are heading into the bridge right now. And you get really a nice vantage point from this camera. And you can see lane 4 already turning, lane 3 right there with them. Lane 5 equally well, that's Temple. So you're going to have a real dogfight to the finish. It's going to be a very close race.
MIT in lane 3, Drexel lane 4, and Temple lane 5.
That's why I said this is really a great field of crews.
St. Joe's now on the outside, lane 1. You know, they're right there. It just looks like again, great field, great competition. That MIT in lane 3, Drexel lane 4, and Temple lane 5 seem to be the ones out in front. But look at St. Joe's out there. They're back a bit, but they're in the hunt.
Drexel looks like it's moved out in front of the field. Drexel's with a strong performance. St. Joe's in lane 1 isn't giving up on it at all as well. And then Temple in lane 5 is hanging in there solid. MIT seems to slip just a little, as has Delaware. But in lane 1, St. Joe's is really strong now, very solid. In lane 4, Drexel has the lead with Temple. Actually, Temple taking about a third of a boat length lead at this point. So Temple has about a third of a boat length
39
lead in lane 5, with Drexel second and St. Joe's third. So you've got all 3 Philadelphia crews in the top 3 of this men's junior varsity heavyweight 8 final.
Yeah, and they're in Temple, Drexel really pushing the rating up there at the 1,000 meter. I mean, I had them at a 39, 38, 39 for those crews, which is high for the midpoint sprint, but that we've seen that before, and we'll see what happens now. Third 500. This is your favorite 500, Bill. Here it is.
This is where things happen that we don't. Next year we need to put a camera on the third 500 because there's so much activity, so much pushing going on. And from that 1,000 meter on, crews are making a difference. They're charging.
St. Joe's seemed like they've moved up nicely. They haven't gone into the lead yet, but they have moved up nicely. Drexel out there doing a nice job, and Temple. You know, it's really the only. That St. Joe's crew. Look at how it's gone. It's moved up nicely. You know, we didn't even talk about them the first 500.
That's what I love about a course. It's not the lane, it's the crew in the lane that's going to make a difference.
So they're at 37 in lane 1.
Always get those great surprises in lane 1 where a crew, you know, just loves being in that lane, loves hearing the hometown crowd cheer for them.
They went right by their own boathouse, and you can imagine that the whole team was standing on the dock for them. And out there at 40 with 400 meters to go. And I do believe St. Joe's is out in front by 3/4 of a length on the rest of the field. But then look all the way over at Temple.
Well, you know, Temple is moving, and so Drexel haven't given up as well. And look at Delaware. Delaware's really come back. It's amazing. This is going to be so close. I would imagine Temple is just going to go for the sky shortly. Temple is moving up drastically on St. Joe's in lane 5. St. Joe's better reach another gear because right now Temple has a half a boat length lead, almost a boat length lead over St. Joe's. In third spot is Drexel, in fourth spot is Delaware, and fifth spot is MIT, and in sixth spot's Virginia. What a performance. This is going to be very close at the finish. It's almost a photo finish between lane 1 St. Joe's and Temple in lane 5. Temple has thrown their hands up first to indicate they believe they've won, but there is a little offset of a finish, so it is closer than they believe it is.
That was really good, Bill. You know, we had them at 400 meters to go. We had St. Joe's as the leader. Temple was back. By the time they got 150 meters further, Temple's up by a length. I mean, that was astounding. What a move.
And it was such a strong performance in the first half of the race by Drexel. Just a great performance by them.
We'll give you an update on that as soon as we have it. Unofficially, I thought that Temple came across first and St. Joe's was second, but we'll wait for the official results on that.